minute of the day. And how knowing when we stand in a place of knowing that we chose to make every single choice, that we are standing in a powerful place of creation. So, on the most fundamental level, keeping your life free of the messes and entanglements that unwise choices create is actually one of the best things that you can do to prepare yourself for love. So I'm going to share a story. I'm going to share a story here about Melissa, this girl Melissa. So she's a 20-something-year-old actress. Apparently she's beautiful. So Melissa's pattern, after she was working with Catherine Woodward Thomas, so Melissa's pattern is to attract women, so she dates women, lesbian, who are unavailable. So she tends to attract people into her life that are unavailable for a long-term commitment, yet this is what she wants. And so she's super frustrated, and she's sick and tired of going through this continuous cycle. So I don't know if you guys are dating, but it's super interesting to look back at all your past relationships and see the common trend. So look at the common thread between all your past relationships. So for Melissa, is that she's finding all these women that are unavailable long term, and that's what she wants. So as she dug deeper, which if you watch some of the previous videos, we did some uncovering of some things from her childhood. But so Melissa did some uncovering, and she found 2 underlying beliefs that she had been dancing with for years. And there is a thing of cheating. That does happen a lot, more than I believe it used to, but who knows, based on like Mad Men. So Melissa's 2 underlying beliefs is that she was unlovable. So she didn't realize, she wasn't conscious of the fact that she felt she was unlovable. And this story she made up as a 4-year-old when her father, So she made up this story as a 4-year-old when her father walked out on her and her mother without looking back. So she decided she was unlovable. I mean, if someone just walked out of you, walked out of your life, you might feel the same way. The second was a fear that if she surrendered herself to someone and truly let go to be herself, her authentic self, that person would somehow begin to control her and abuse her. So once she realized these stories and inner conversations that she had made up in her head, they were no longer an unconsciousness that was kind of like in the background. And so now she had it, it's tangible, and it was she's conscious about it. So that's kind of the first step. Like if you say you're an alcoholic, the first step is saying, hello, I'm an alcoholic, my name is. So you got to start with step 1. And once Melissa uncovered this, she was hopeful that she would finally have access to creating the relationship of her dreams. So as we've talked before, we attract our mirrors. So if you're attracting someone that's unavailable, or you're attracting somebody that is controlling and abusive or manipulative, that's what I've been known to attract in my life, then it's important for us to go back and figure out why. Where are we creating that story? Where is that in us that creates the opportunity to attract it? Because I don't want to be with a manipulative person. Hello. And that is in the past, so it's not happening anymore, but that's in the past. So it's about recognizing these threads and then looking at where they're stemming from. So Melissa felt she had tackled it. She figured out, this unconscious story that was running in the back of her mind. And she went on a couple dates, and still she met some people that were unavailable. She met somebody that was not willing to leave their ex until their child grew up, but they wanted to date. That's not healthy. Come on. There was another situation that she almost fell for because she was really attracted to this person. But after going back and forth about it, she finally decided to choose out. So she made the choice of choosing out of that relationship, knowing that it wasn't going to be healthy for her. And literally 2 weeks later, after making that decision, she found her partner, who she now considers her soulmate. So when she looks back, literally 2 weeks before, she could be freaking out because she could have maybe been with that person and it wouldn't have been healthy. So We all have choices to make every single day. And what I'm going to say is that every choice that we make, whether it's right or it's wrong, it's the perfect decision. It's always the perfect decision, even if it comes with a hardship, because the lessons are powerful. And maybe the lesson was for you. So that's my thoughts on right or wrong. I don't believe that that's really the case. It's a neutral situation, and all we have are lessons. Okay. So what she says here, what is more likely to happen is that instead of immediately attracting a whole new kind of person into our lives, we find ourselves attracting exactly the same kind of person, or person who at first appears to be different, but isn't really. So we're challenged with these temptations that we had before. And then that's similar to the ones that we've faced in the past. So this time we're wiser. So you might attract that same type of unavailable or manipulative person in your life, but now we're wiser. We've recognized the thread, the trend of our past. So now that we're wiser, we must make the more difficult choice by saying no to the enticement of doing the exact same thing, hoping for a different result. Because that just doesn't happen. It's up to us to create the change. So we must choose to remain empty-handed rather than settle for repeating past mistakes. I like what she says here. It says, though the universe is testing us, are we truly finished replicating this familiar pattern? Have we really given up the need to prove that we aren't worthy of love? Are we willing to stand in the void rather than compromise ourselves again? These tests come out whenever we declare to the universe we are ready to change. So when we're ready to change and take action, sometimes there'll be some obstacles initially, but don't worry. Don't worry. It's about taking them on, embracing them, embracing the journey, and moving forward. So, I wanted to share this. Okay. If we can see our lives as a series of challenges that provide us with opportunities for growth with the goal of advancing ourselves in wisdom and compassion, then it is easier to accept our past failures and disappointments. When we value life from the perspective of what we've already learned, the failure is redefined. As there is no greater teacher than a missed opportunity, and no greater than the lesson of love gone awry. Then those of us who have failed the most might be also the wisest and most compassionate amongst us. So are you guys feeling it? Does that make sense? Are you ready to look at all your lessons and your right or wrong decisions as learning opportunities and knowing that they were just perfect for you? Tap the heart. Tap the heart if you get that. I want you to know that every decision is just perfect and not be in a place of victim mode, but choose the higher ground that is perfect and beautiful for you. It's your path. It's your journey. It's my journey that I was with manipulative men in my past, and I can look back. I can look back at that, and I can see the beautiful times. I can see the lessons that I learned, and it's been pure growth. After that. So the other thing which we've touched on before is to not seek outward guidance. It's to honor our own truth, our own integrity. We've gone through this kind of in a few lessons, is that how we get to honor our own truth and not seek help from a therapist or a friend and get their thoughts and go by their thoughts and ideas. Like, this truly is our own truth. It's our own integrity that we get to keep with ourselves and be loyal to ourselves and honor our own selves versus somebody else's opinion of how, growth and moving forward. So it's so important to make your own decisions and listen to that inner guidance. Practice that inner guidance technique that we talked about with the automated journaling and writing to God or the universe or wisdom or your higher self and just letting the answers come through you. It's so powerful. Let's learn to value that making of the right choice is not the right choice necessarily for others, but it's the right choice for us. It's always the right choice, even if it seems like the wrong one, because of the lessons. I can't stress that enough. When I first learned of this concept, because this is not the first time I've thought of this or gone here, it was with my mentor, and I was like, what do you mean there's no right or wrong decision? What do you mean? That's impossible. Of course there's a wrong decision. And he's like, nope. So for me, it took some time to grasp. So, you know, maybe me sharing this with you, it might take a minute. But once you accept it, it's gonna be powerful. So make the right decision for you and know that it's always the right decision for you. Okay, so as always, we have homework. We have homework here. So today is more journaling, more writing. So I don't know if you've created that safe space in your home or maybe outside. I was just talking to a friend earlier who was having some major anxiety, and I'm like, get outside. You got to get outside. Outside is where we connect with nature. Nature is living. It's all abundant, and it's in alignment. So when we can take the flow of nature and embody that within, it's so powerful, and it can calm and soothe us. So maybe journal outside, but here are some of the questions that we're journaling on today. What choices in my life have I made and regretted? And why? What lessons did I learn as a result of making these choices? Putting them in a powerful place. Let's reframe those. Let's reframe them. What good came from each of these choices? What choices have I made based upon the values of others? Maybe they were teachers, therapists, friends, parents, versus listening to your own inner guidance and values. What were the consequences of these choices? What choices do I feel most proud of? Let's build ourselves up, people. I'm super proud of my decision to move to LA from Portland. I completely left a full-time position as a top real estate agent in Portland, Oregon, to follow my path to LA, and everyone in Portland, including my family, thought I was crazy. You know, are you having a midlife crisis? What's going on? But I am so grateful that I did. I love it here. I love my friends. I love my friends in Portland as well. But hey, there's nothing wrong with a million friends. So, what choices are you proud of? What lessons have you learned as a result of making these choices? The ones that you're proud of. And what good have come from those choices? Last question. What choices am I facing today, right now? And in what ways could I respond? We can always respond in millions of ways. So look at the 30,000 foot view. So what choices are you facing today? And what view could you take to reflect a deep honoring and respect for yourself and all involved? So that's the homework. Let's see, there's always a bonus action. I haven't read it yet. As you move throughout the day, notice what you do each time you are faced with a choice. Do you try to look at others for answers? Do you second guess the choices that you make? Do you do what you think you're supposed to do, expected to do, versus honoring your own truth? So wherever you find yourself going into this automatic mode, take a minute and step outside so that you can honor what you truly feel inside, because so many times we just steamroll our own opinions and thoughts that we feel. And before going to bed, take out your journal and write down the different choices that you made today and what it's like for you to make them. What feelings and experiences did you have when you made these choices? Because we're making them every minute of the day, and many times we're completely automatic and not even noticing that we're making choices. So I I made a choice to not go out tonight because I was tired and I ended up taking a nap. I just woke up from a nap, so that's why I look like this, because I was so tired.